Hello students, welcome back. We will continue with our topic. We have started with chapter number 1, Nutrition in Plants. In our earlier class, we have read about nutrition, nutrients, their definition and types of nutrition. Two types of nutrition, autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. Fine. Today we will discuss about autotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay? Autotrophic mode of nutrition is a mode in which organisms prepare their own food by using all the inorganic substances from the environment. Okay? So when we use this autotrophic mode of nutrition, when any organism uses this autotrophic mode of nutrition, they are preparing the food by themselves. That's why the term has come auto, which means self, and trophic, which means nutrition. So the organism is preparing its food by its own. Okay? The best example for autotrophic mode of nutrition will be always green plants. Why I use the term green plants? I explained to you yesterday that green plants are the plants which contain a specific pigment necessary for absorbing solar radiation and converting it into chemical. And that green pigment is known as chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is a pigment which is necessary for preparation of food in plants. If it is present, they will go for photoautotropic mode of nutrition. Now, autotrophic mode of nutrition, where green plants prepare their own food with the help of light, is generally known as photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Photo means light and synthesis means preparation of food. Children, I told you all that you have to note down whatever we are discussing and you have to note down in your copy. I hope you all are noting it down in your copy. So you will write the definition of autotrophic mode of nutrition, the mode of nutrition in which an organism makes its own food by using inorganic material from its environment. This method is known as autotrophic mode of nutrition. Next, you will write photosynthesis. So what will be the definition of photosynthesis? The method in which organisms prepare food by using light. Synthesis of food in the presence of light. That light can be sunlight, natural source, can be any other artificial source of light. Fine. Now, children, you all know who has coined the term photosynthesis? No. You will write down who coined the term photosynthesis. Charles Reid Barnes. In 1893. Charles Reid Barnes is the name of the scientist who coined the term photosynthesis in 1893. Let's move forward. What are the conditions necessary for photosynthesis? For photosynthesis, 4 important conditions are there, factors are there which are necessary for photosynthesis to take place. What is that? The first one is chlorophyll. What is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a green pigment which is present in the leaves, specifically leaves, or in the young stems also you can see. Green pigment, green color pigment which we are able to see, why plants are green in color, it is because of this pigment chlorophyll. So it is present in, specifically in the, we can see them in leaves. So leaf. Okay, so this is a pigment which is necessary. What is the function of this pigment? This pigment is necessary for converting solar energy into chemical energy. You all know which chemical? Chemical called ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. This is the energy molecule for all the living organisms. So it has to be converted into ATP and then only organisms can utilize. Right? So chlorophyll is present in the chloroplast, that is the organelle. We will study about all these organelles in further classes. So chloroplast, and that helps in conversion of solar energy into chemical energy. Fine. Next is carbon dioxide. From where do these plants get carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide is a gas, you all know. Plants get this carbon dioxide from atmosphere in the form of gas. Which part of the plant will help in taking carbon dioxide? Yes, again, leaf. When we see the structure of leaf, at the lower surface of the leaf, in their lower surface of the leaf, there are minute pore-like structures called, yes, stomata. Stomata are the minute pore openings. Okay, they are guarded by guard cells. So they are guarded by guard cells, and this opening will open up when guard cells will move apart. When guard cells closes, the opening will also close. This is stomatal opening and closing. When stomatal opening takes place, when stomata opens when water enters into the guard cell. When water enters into the guard cell, guard cells swell up. So they will get separated and the opening will be there through which carbon dioxide gas can enter inside the plant. So carbon dioxide is entering inside the plant through this opening. Okay. So carbon dioxide, they have got it now. Which part of the plant helps in getting water? Along with water, I am writing water and minerals. Water and minerals, which part of the plant? Yes, the root of the plant help in absorption of water and mineral. Roots of the plants, they will help in absorption of, yes, from soil. Yes. So, what is the source of water and mineral for plants? It is soil. Plants get water and minerals from soil. Roots of the plants, by the process of endoosmosis, will absorb the water, and then stem will conduct the water. Water will reach till the leaf. And we know that leaf is known as the food factory, where it is going to prepare the food. Clear? Come to the last factor, which is very essential, is here sunlight. When we are talking about natural source, we are talking about sunlight. Okay, so sunlight is very much necessary. If sunlight is not provided to the plants, they will not prepare the food. They will not be able to prepare the food, because the first step in photosynthesis is absorption of solar radiation and converting it into some chemical, then utilizing that chemical for preparation of food. So sunlight is necessary. Clear? Children, we will see how these conditions are necessary based on activities. Some activities are also there. They are there in your book also. We will be performing each an activity once we come to school. Okay, till that time we will learn about those activities. I will be forwarding the videos, how to perform those activities, how we will be confirming that chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, carbon dioxide is necessary for photosynthesis, and sunlight is necessary for photosynthesis. So all these activities we all are going to do it in our next classes. Fine? Till that time, we will just have a quick recap. Today what we have read, we have continued with the chapter number 1, nutrition in plants. In nutrition, 2 modes of nutrition we all know, autotrophic mode and heterotrophic mode. In autotrophic mode means plants can prepare their own food by themselves. Self-preparation of food. So plants can prepare which type of plants? Green plants can prepare their own food. Okay. So what is the definition? The mode of nutrition in which an organism makes its own food by using inorganic materials from environment is known as autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now for autotrophic mode of nutrition, the general term which is given is photosynthesis. Photo means light. Synthesis means preparation of food. Fine. This term was coined by scientist Charles Reed Barnes in 1893. What are the conditions necessary for photosynthesis? Chlorophyll present in the green part of the plant, green pigment, which function of chlorophyll is conversion of solar energy into chemical energy. Carbon dioxide present in the gas, yes, in the air is present, atmosphere, and from where does it enter inside the plants? Through the small pores called stomata present underside of the leaves. Small openings guarded by guard cells. Water and minerals. The source is soil and roots of the plants. They absorb water and minerals by which process? Endoosmosis. And then stem will supply the water to the leaves. Leaves will prepare the food. By which process? Photosynthesis. In the presence of which light? Yes, the natural sources of light, sunlight. So this is the quick recap of the chapter. We will continue with the experiments and activities for conditions necessary for photosynthesis in our next class. Till then, goodbye.